Okay, welcome. We are starting the presentation now. If you are just coming in, that is cool. Feel free to introduce yourself and put your social media handle in the chat box. So the workshop that you're here for today is Millionaire Mindset. So how to really create abundance and master a millionaire mind. I'm going to explain to you what the heck millionaire mind means. For some of you who are new, because I see some new faces, I'll give a quick intro of who I am, but I'm not going to take up much of your time doing that. If you want to chat more later, feel free to reach out. And if you want to know more of my qualifications, I can definitely send you my bio and you could learn more about me, but that's not why you're here. So I want to really go over that pretty quick. So I'm also going to cover in this workshop, we're going to go through 4 modules. So what I'm going to do, because I believe that having a millionaire mindset is a lifestyle and it's a way of being. So I'm going to actually show how to apply a millionaire mindset in 4 areas. So we're going to go through networking, how to network, expand your community, expand your social circle. I'm going to give you tools and techniques in each section. That's super important to me because I want to make sure that you have actual tangible techniques and tools and exercises that you can do today as well as on your own. So I am going to leave you time during this workshop to do a little bit of homework, I guess you could call it, but you're probably not going to have enough time to go through all of it. So feel free to take it onto your own time and then kind of expand on all of the stuff that we're going to be talking about. So we're going to go through networking, then we're going to go into romantic relationships. And so actually with that in mind, can you put in your chat if you are single or in a relationship? It doesn't matter. These tools and techniques will apply regardless, but I want to kind of gauge the crowd and know who. Single AF, we get the first comment. But I do want to make sure I know the audience that I'm talking to. Then we're going to go into tools and techniques to connect with self and continue to expand on that. And then we're going to go into business. So we'll cover all 4. It'll be about an hour. So I'm going to try to go through it quickly. If you have questions, please connect with me today, and or if you have questions after, that's cool too. Just put it in the Facebook me or send me a DM on Instagram. So quick, my name is Vanessa Ortali. If we haven't met yet, I see everyone coming in. That's awesome. I am a coach and speaker. The information that I'm going to be teaching you today is from so many different things. I've been training as an executive coach and team building facilitator for almost 15 years. So I'm going to be bringing in all of that knowledge, as well as my business school degree, my biology degree, my training with the Heart Math Institute in California, as well as cognitive behavioral therapy and tons of other certifications, but I'm not going to bore you. The reason why I do what I do in this community, and I love doing these workshops, is more from personal experience. If you haven't heard my story, I lost my mom when I was young to breast cancer. And although that was a pivotal moment in my life and obviously made me who I am today, there's been so many other things that have happened, not just because of my mother's passing, but I have experienced severe anxiety, depression. I have had thoughts where I was just laying in bed crying, so lonely, and thinking, like, why are we here? What the heck is the reason for life? And it's in those moments that I never want other people to feel like that. And although that's just a big goal, we're all going to have good days and bad days. What I've done throughout my whole training and throughout my hard times, you know, I've had moments where I've been completely broke and have never known how I was even going to pay for food. And so in these stressful moments, I was creating tools and techniques to change my mindset and adapt a millionaire mindset so that regardless of what was going on around me, I would still feel amazing and be able to manifest abundance, which I've been able to create. And so once I was able to make that shift in my brain, I literally went from broke to making over 6 figures in 6 months. So the tools and techniques that I am going to be sharing with you today I have practiced over and over. I still practice them today, and I know them to work for me. I am not here to say that all of these tools and techniques are going to work for you. However, I have plenty of clients that they have worked for, so I do hope that you take something away from this workshop. So we are going to dive in, and I'm going to go through all 4 of those sections for you. Before we start though, I always like to get grounded. So if you can please just take a moment to close your eyes, and I'm going to trust that you're doing this so I don't look like an idiot, just closing my eyes by myself. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths. And I just want us to get centered, because I know our days can get long and we can get all wrapped up in everything that's going on. And I want you to be aware of the fact that your thoughts and everything going on in your mind right now, your stresses, your worries, your concerns, they are not who you are. I want you to play around with this concept and keep your eyes closed and keep breathing, that there is both fear and connection within you. And you get to decide in each moment what side you feed and what side you lean to. Because we all have fear, and we all have things that are going to come up. We cannot take away the stresses in life, but we can start to be more aware of our thoughts, how we carry ourselves, and how we react. And that's the power of these tools that I'm going to teach you today, as I want them to continue to bring more attention to your thoughts and how you show up in the world. And so keep your eyes closed for 1 minute. And I want you to connect to your highest self. What does that even mean to you? When I say connect to your highest self, or connect to the truth of who you are, can you feel that person? And do you know what I'm talking about? If not, that's okay. And if you can, that's great. I want you to take a moment and feel love. Feel the word love. What does that feel like in your body? And if you're not sure, try to think of a memory in which you felt love, either for yourself or towards someone else. And when you can feel love just radiating through your body, I want you to feel how it feels in your body. The warmth. Do you feel it in your hands, your stomach, your chest, your throat? And imagine this love just radiating within you and illuminating outwards in the room that you're sitting, in the home that you're in, and the world that you belong to. Notice if you're smiling as you feel the love. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths and just marinate in this feeling of love. One more deep breath, and then open your eyes when you're ready. Okay. So I hope we're all connected as one, sending love to each other, which is super fun. And I want to I wanted to do that quick connection exercise before we started, because as we go through this, I'm going to be talking about highest self and your true self. And so I want to continue to connect back to this concept because it is a choice in each moment. And the more you practice these tools and techniques, the more clear your highest self will become. And I want you to feel clarity and abundance and warmth. You get to decide, right? In a millionaire mindset, what I believe a millionaire mindset is your ability to live in abundance regardless of what's going on around you. Be and live as a millionaire, regardless of what you see in your reality. And so it all starts within. So we're going to go into the networking section. And again, if you have questions as we go along, please put them in the chat box. So let's chat networking. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions because I believe that asking you questions is the fastest way for you to have your own self-discovery and acknowledge your own blind spots. And so the first question, make sure you have a pen and paper handy. I want you to ask yourself is, I want you to be really real. What does your current network look like? And when I say network, I want you to think family, friends, mentors, coaches. And I want you to consider, what does that look like? Who do you surround yourself with? Do they inspire you? Do they excite you? Do they motivate you to reach your goals? Do they help you to become your highest self and encourage you to be your highest self? Do they call you out on your BS when you're projecting your own shit onto other people? Do they keep you real? And that answer should be pretty obvious to you, because I know we kind of struggle with that question often, and we think of that question quite often, especially now when we're filming this workshop. It's during quarantine. And I'm sure we're all thinking, who do we surround ourselves with? So what I want you to do is I want you to be very intentional with the type of network you want to create for yourself. I'm going to sneeze. One sec. And so I want you to create 3 columns on a sheet of paper. And I'm going to tell you what to put in each column. In your first column, you are going to write the types of people you want to meet and attract within your community. These can be mentors, coaches, friends, whatever you want. I want to be very intentional. The more specific you are, and you'll see in these 3 columns, the better it'll be. And so I want you to write out who you want to connect with. And I want you to also consider 3 different areas of your life. Let me explain. It's really beneficial to have people that are just behind you. And I don't mean behind as in lower. I mean that maybe have similar goals, but haven't gotten to exactly the place you have yet. And that can be that can be different things, personal or professional. So people that are just behind, people that are kind of in your circle that you can learn from, and you're kind of working on the same things, have the same priorities right now. And then you have people that are just ahead of you, that have maybe already accomplished some of the goals that you're looking to create. And then that way, it's really even. You have people that you can help. You have people that you can inspire and motivate and keep each other accountable. And then you have people that you can look up to and get support from, and you can have them in your corner. You may also be thinking in people that you want to connect with, who would be my board of directors, my personal board of directors. So when I say personal board of directors, I want you to be thinking of who do you need in your corner with regards to your physical, mental, spiritual well-being. So that can be a homeopathic or naturopathic doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a coach, a fitness person, whoever you feel would be beneficial in your corner. You don't have to meet all these people at once, but it's important to go through and be really intentional about who you want to connect with. So once you have those people listed, if you want to go back and add more people, that's cool. We're going into column 2. Column 2, with each specific person that you mentioned, I want you to be really intentional about the qualities that you're looking for in these people. So for example, when I was looking for new coaches and mentors, and I did this exercise, I said, okay, I want to meet a man or woman who has already built a multi-million-dollar business, who specifically works with women and helps women to accomplish their goals. So you could be even more specific than that. I actually also put, I wanted them to be a US citizen and do a lot of business in the US. The more specific you are is good for two reasons. Number one, it helps you to ask for referrals. So when people would ask me, hey, what can I do to help you? I would say, I'm actually looking for a mentor who is blah, 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 blah. Does anyone come to mind? Do you know anyone? So your ability to be specific, even if you are single and looking for a partner, which we can talk about again in the relationship section, it helps you to ask for referrals and be really specific upon your ask. It will also help you. Your second tip is going to be in column 3, so I'm not going to give that away. I want to give you one more example here within the types of qualities that you're looking for in these people. I want you to pay attention to the words you use. So if you say, I'm looking for friends that are fun, adventurous, who have a great sense of humor, who are loyal, I throw the word loyalty in because when I survey the community, I often ask, what are you looking for in a friend? And they'll say, oh, loyalty is one of the top ones that people say. And so then I ask, that's awesome. What does loyalty mean to you? I want you to ask yourself, when you look at the qualities that you're looking for in your network, what does that actually mean, right? I want a successful person. What does that mean? That they're already running a multi-million-dollar business, that they're a mother, that they have children. What is important to you? And be specific. So for example, loyalty might mean something different to two different people. So when I ask the community, what does loyalty mean to you? I would get comments like, well, I want them to text me back, or I want them to be available when I'm in a bad mood or I need extra support. And although that's really clear, the reason we do this second column will lead us into column 3. So I know I'm not giving you enough time to go through everything, so you're going to have to go back and be a little bit more specific in these qualities. This is such a beneficial exercise. But in column 3, we're going into and we're carrying this loyalty exercise over, or this loyalty example. When I ask, what does loyalty mean to you? And they say, I want someone to text me back and to be there when I'm in a bad mood and when I need support. My reaction and gut instinct says, you're not looking for a friend. You need to learn to soothe yourself. You're looking for people and happiness and security outside of yourself that your inner being and your fear is screaming at you to pay attention to. So in column 3, I want you to write out, do you possess the qualities that you're looking for in friends? For example, you're looking for someone adventurous. Are you being adventurous in your life right now? So are you being what you're looking for? And number 2 is, how can you start integrating more of those qualities into your life? The reason why column 3 is so powerful, this is what attaches to the millionaire mind. You have to be and show up as the person you want to attract in your life. Here's where you start to get really real with yourself and start asking yourself, am I showing up as my highest self? Are you looking for other people to fulfill you and fill you up when you really need to turn inward? I believe a millionaire mind starts within here in order to create abundance in your reality. That is the same in every single area of your life. How you do one thing, you do everything. Your social circle, your relationships, your business, and your relationship with yourself. And so column 3 is my favorite because that's where you get to be really real and you get to start stepping up in your life and start feeling at ease, and creating your own happiness. Your life does not start when you find a mentor, when you find a coach, when you find new friends. If you want more adventure, go out there, take yourself out, go do something fun. Although it can be a lot more fun with other people, start with you. So that's where we're starting. Okay, I love column 3. That's my favorite. Any questions before we move into the relationship section? I want to make sure we're staying on time because I'm already talking a lot. So I hope we don't go over. So we're moving into relationships, romantic relationships. So your first question in romantic relationships is I want you to get really clear on how you want to feel in a relationship. Usually I do an entire meditation. So put a little note here, and when after this, I want you to sit there for a few minutes and I want you to actually feel, how do I want to feel in a relationship? Not the other person. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel confident and sexy and secure and fun and adventurous? Like, this is a feeling game. The Millionaire Mind starts within. I'm going to keep saying this. It's how you feel. I don't care what your reality looks like right now. You have to change the way you feel before you see a change in your life. I felt like a millionaire and imagined all of the money I was giving to people and the amazing trips I was going on when I could not afford food. Every time I would buy something, I would think, I'm so lucky. I live in so much abundance. I am taken care of. I have so much I need and so much more. And so it really starts to keep yourself accountable to your thoughts. How are you showing up every day? And what are you actually thinking? Are they supporting the millionaire mind or the lack mentality? Are you living in abundance and flow and ease, or are you living in resistance and lack? You get to decide. And when we go into self, which will be the next section, I'm going to give you specific tips on how to really start paying attention to your thoughts and keeping yourself accountable to if you're living in fear or if you're living in your highest self. So 3 secrets in your relationships. I'm going to give you a warning before I go into them that these techniques and tools are not common practice. They may trigger you, but that's okay. I want you to pay attention to your triggers and what's coming up in your mind and the stories you're telling yourself about the things that I'm going to tell you. So 3 secrets. Number 1 is I want you to release all expectation and I want you to completely lean into uncertainty. What the heck does that even mean? So whether you're single or you're in a relationship, what that means is you do not need anything from your partner or the person you're going out with. Your romantic relationships are your fastest journey to self-discovery. In every single thing that your partner or someone you went on a date with, when they trigger you, you can do the same exercise we did in number 1. What am I looking for from that person? And how can I start giving it to myself? So the next time you go out on a date or you think your husband or boyfriend needs to be a specific way, needs to do a specific thing, you say, okay, no, how can I start being that? How can I start doing that? Maybe turn it into a mantra. When I was dating, I noticed that I was triggered by a particular guy. And I walked away thinking, man, like, you should have protected me. You should have defended me. You should have been there for me. For 3 weeks following that, I made that mantra that I am fully taken care of. I am good. I'm taken care of. I'm fully taken care of. Here's in your triggers, and we'll see this when we get into the mindset piece. That's where you see your limiting beliefs and your blind spots and your stories that you're living in and your subconscious thoughts that are programming and showing you your reality. So you know your subconscious thoughts right now based on your reality. So if you're happy with your reality, awesome. We can always continue to work on our mindset. And if you want to see changes, then you got to start changing your thoughts and your mind. Now, I could literally teach an entire concept on letting go of expectations and leaning into the uncertainty. I'll give you one more example. When I first started dating my boyfriend, and I remember we were lying in bed at this time, and he, kind of was a little bit too cool for school when he'd wake up in the morning, and I wouldn't feel welcomed and loved. And instead of getting upset and mad, which would have been super normal, I noticed my trigger and I was like, oh shit. Like, I really wish he would just roll over and say to me, I love you. You're so beautiful. So good, right? And so then I ignored the situation. I released all expectation that he needed to do anything. And I just laid there and I said, that's okay. Because my ideal man, my man, he's going to roll over and he's going to say, I love you. You're so beautiful. I'm so lucky to be lying next to you. Good morning. It's going to be a beautiful day. And I laid there and I felt it as if it were really happening in real life. Your mind does not know the difference, whether it's happening within you or outside of you. So I would trick myself every time. It's okay. That's really happening. Sure enough, weeks later, he started doing that. And let me tell you, I never had to tell him to start. That was something that when I started changing my own energy and released all expectations, I rose myself to have a millionaire mind. And in that process, he kind of stayed down here, right? He chose who he wanted to show up as. This space, when I decide to release expectation, is uncomfortable. However, that space is the most powerful thing you can give because it allows the person to decide whether they're going to meet you here or whether they're going to leave. And it's beautiful. So good. So secret number 2 is I want you to focus on the highest self of that person. It's so easy to see everyone's faults. And let me tell you, you don't show up as your highest self all the time. So stop judging others for showing up in their fear. When most of our interactions in life are just fear against fear and projections against projections, once you decide to flip that script, to change the script, I always make up my own saying, so I usually will morph 2 together. But once you decide to change that script, their fear has nothing to bounce up against. You holding yourself in your highest self and seeing the other person as their highest self gives them the power to step into their highest self. See the truth of who they are, not the fear that they're projecting towards you. When you see their love, their light, and their soul, regardless of what they're projecting at you, you completely shift how you bring yourself to the table and what you will receive from others. Now, this does not mean you are a doormat and people walk all over you. This means you are stepping into your power from a place of clarity and alignment. I just care how you feel. I want you to feel good regardless of how you respond and how you react. So what I'm doing in these secrets is helping to change how you feel about a situation. Because when you start releasing expectation and you start seeing everyone for the highest self that they are, you will just radiate with love and feel amazing. And then everything either meets you there or leaves. This is how you start to create abundance. So last secret before we move into self. Third thing, and this moves so perfectly into self. Third secret in your relationships is I need you to focus on you. I need you to know what it feels like to be in alignment and to feel good. So if we use the same exercise we talked about in the networking section about those 3 columns, I want you to start asking yourself, let's for fun just do this quickly. So you have a partner that you're looking for. Column 2 is what qualities you're looking for in that partner. Now, I want you to ask yourself, remember, what does this mean? How does this make me feel? So if you're looking for a partner that's taller or a more muscular fit, whatever, I'm just throwing things out there. Ask yourself why. Like, how does that make me feel? Well, it makes me feel safe and secure and sexy, whatever. So what you're actually looking for is a partner that helps you feel your best self, helps you feel sexy and confident. And then in column 3, great, how can you start being that? How can you start supporting your own confidence, feeling sexy? Maybe you wear sexy lingerie, or you take a tantra workshop. You do a belly dancing or a pole dancing class, or virtual. Start filling yourself up. Start taking yourself out on me dates. Honestly, my me dates are my favorite thing. I take myself out on me date every week, even if it's just for a walk or to go to the coffee shop or to go to a movie. It's what fills me up. Your most important relationship is your relationship between you and you. Every other relationship around you is a reflection of your relationship with you. So if you're seeing turmoil and a lack of connection in your relationships with others, let's start creating more of a connection with you. And then everything around you will continue to change and evolve. It's so beautiful, right? And I know sometimes it can be daunting, but every little bit helps. And right now, let me tell you, you are at the closest point of change. Let me explain. You've been living this way for how many years? Now is the easiest time to change, because tomorrow will be 24 hours harder. The longer you go ingraining these patterns in your psyche, in your reactions, the harder they're going to be to change. Every step you take after today to start changing your thoughts, start changing your reactions, will continue to make your life easier and easier and more fulfilled. So good. Any questions about relationships? Pop them in the chat box, and we're going to be moving on to self right now. I'm really giving you a lot in this workshop because I love giving you value, and I want you to be able to take these techniques. And honestly, if you practice just these small tools that I'm teaching you in each of these sections, you'll see a difference in your life in the next couple weeks. But it's a daily, I call it the mental Olympics. When I started really diving deep into my own mindset, I did that because I hit my own rock bottom where I was just miserable and anxious all the time and hated the way I felt. And I said, that's it. I'm going into the mental Olympics. I'm taking this super serious. I'm training my mind just as someone would train their body. It's an ongoing journey and commitment to me, because I know if I'm my best self, I'll be able to help others. I'll be my best self for my family and the world. And it's my goal for myself to continue to raise my own consciousness so that I can just be light and love in this world. And when we go to the business section, we'll talk more about purpose and how you might connect more to that. But that's what's really important to me. So how I've done that is I'm going to go through a couple techniques within yourself to continue to build your connection with self. So the first thing I want you to really think about, if you didn't make this note yet in the introduction, get clear on who your ideal self is, what he or she feels like, how you dress, how you show up, how you carry yourself, how you feel, right? All those things are important. I need you to be able to feel it regardless of what's going on around you. Before I get out of bed every morning, I connect to the feeling of my highest self. This grounds me for my day and also is almost like a touch point, so that if I find that I'm losing connection with myself during the day, I just go highest self, highest self. So the more you practice this, the faster you'll be able to connect to the feeling of your highest self, and then it'll be able to ground you throughout your day. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want you to do is start getting really comfortable at paying attention to your triggers. When I mean triggers, a trigger is something that kind of throws you off. Maybe it makes you anxious, sad, anxious. You know, a trigger. You get this feeling within you like, oh, right? Maybe it's towards a person or towards an experience or a situation in the world. So what I want you to do when you notice your trigger. Now, I don't care if you notice it right away or if you notice it hours later. Whenever you notice it, I want you to do these two things. I want you to ask yourself, how am I feeling? Start really noticing, how are you feeling within you? And number two is, what thoughts were just going through my mind? When that trigger happened, what was I thinking? What did I tell myself? Now, this is why this question is so powerful. The things that are happening in our environment are not what is triggering you. Your thoughts, opinions, and judgments about situations are what trigger you. When it's raining, okay? It's raining. But the trigger is, oh, it's raining. Oh, it's cold. I hate winter. Oh, it's such a dreary day. I'm just going to be inside. Stop. Just stop. We have to stop the train of thoughts that are controlling us. If you were to stop worrying and placing your judgments and placing your opinions on everything, that's freedom. That's space. That's clarity. Imagine the abundance and love and peace and joy that you could live in if you weren't always worried and you weren't always thinking of the future and attaching a story to every single thing. I don't want you to feel bad when I say this. This is all about awareness and paying attention to your thoughts. Once you start changing that, and I want you to know, your thoughts and stories, they're not from you. They're from your family, your parents. Oh, that's your family. Your family, your friends, society. You may even hear them in your mind when that thought goes off. It's not you. So stop pretending that it is and start owning your true power. So that's the first technique I'm going to tell you, is just paying attention to your triggers and asking yourself those two questions. If you do that for the next 7 days, I promise you, you will start to see a lot of trends and start to really pay attention to your thoughts and stories. And that is when you can start to change them. And I'm going to give you 5 steps to start reprogramming your thoughts. Now, one additional trick. If you are not finding that you are noticing your triggers, and let me tell you, I was one of those people. So I'm going to tell you to do this exercise for the next 7 days and then send me a DM and your mind will be blown. I have coached hundreds of people. I work with therapists who I tell to do this exercise and even their minds are blown. So what I want you to do for the next 7 days is I want you to set your alarm on your phone for every 2 hours. When that alarm goes off, ask yourself the 2 questions I just told you. How am I feeling? What was I just thinking? You will be shocked at what happens. I was, at this point when I made up this exercise, I was a licensed coach. I was training executives in Fortune 500 companies all over the world. And I had watched the movie, oh my goodness, now what is it called? It is escaping me. Inside Out. You know that, like, I think it's Pixar or Disney, Inside Out, and they depict your emotions in your mind through marbles. And as I'm watching this and I'm thinking, what color are my marbles? Now you can ask yourself the same question. They had blue for sadness, green for, I think it was anger or envy, whatever. Don't quote me on this. Yellow for joy, and red for anger, green for envy. That's it. They might have had a couple others. Regardless, I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, what are the marbles in my mind? Oh, they're all blue. They're all sad. So when I made up this exercise and every time my alarm went off, no wonder I was sad, because I was such an asshole to myself. Every time the alarm went off, it was like, Vanessa, you have to get going. Let's keep going. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, look at all the things you have to do. Oh, you're never going to be successful. You're never going to do this. What do you have to do to be successful right now? It was exhausting. And I was shocked because all of these stories and signals and messages, whatever the heck you want to call them, were going on without my knowledge. So then there was no wonder why I was feeling shitty every day, because my internal dialogue was like a drill sergeant that I would have fired long ago. Same thing in the morning. When the alarm went off, the first thing I would tell myself is, get up. You should have been up already. Like, let's get going. And I'd wake up with anxiety every day. If I was laying next to a partner that said those things to me, like, get up, come on, let's go, you should have been up already, I would have broken up with them long ago. Here's where you get to start to change the relationship with yourself. Are you your best friend? Are you your greatest cheerleader? And if not, that's okay. We can always start to improve that relationship. And I believe that self-love is a lifelong journey. I'm falling more and more in love with myself and my fears and insecurities every day. And we're not perfect, but we can continue to start to learn what our triggers are and what our thoughts are, so we can start to change them. So I'm going to give you 5 steps to start to change your thoughts once you're aware of them. Okay? So let me know if I'm going too fast and I need to slow down, but you will get a recording of this. So head into our membership portal to catch the recording of this if you need to watch it back, and then press pause as I'm going through the techniques. So your 5 steps to processing your emotions. Number 1, you have to be aware of them. When you're aware of them, whenever that is, whether it's at the time or later, or you set your alarm, I don't care. Just you're aware of them. Once you're aware of your thought, I need you to breathe. Take deep breaths. The reason for the breath is really important, because when you're having a trigger, you're actually having a chemical reaction going through your body. Now, this chemical reaction will last about 90 seconds. So it doesn't last long, about 1.5 minutes. Everything after the 90 seconds is all you up here. So if you can breathe through it, I usually will envision it just flowing through me. So I think just flow through me. I'm just breathing through it. I don't want to entangle in the emotion. I just want it to flow, just flow through. So number 2, breathe. Number 3 is I want you to listen to your thoughts. What am I telling myself right now? Number 4, I want you to validate and acknowledge yourself. Number 4 is arguably the most important step that everyone skips over. What does that mean? Acknowledge and validate. I need you to actually say to yourself and or out loud, I get it. I get why you're triggered right now. I get why you're upset. I get why you're sad. I understand. I understand. And this becomes very obvious when I give you this quick example of a parent and a child. You have a parent and a child relationship. The child is crying. The parent 1 says, stop crying. You're always crying. Like, enough already. Parent 2 says, oh my goodness, you're crying. I noticed you just fell right there. That must hurt. Oh yeah, I can understand why that would hurt. Completely different relationship, right? Parent A is just in this argument, which sounds like the argument in our heads. You know better. Get over this. I can't believe you're still fearful or triggered by this. Oh, come on. You know better. So we're always in this, feel better. No, can't feel better. Validate me, see me. And then you have this parent 2 that we all need to be seen. We need to see ourselves in the same way. We all need to be seen. We all need to be heard. So I need you to see yourself and hear yourself. This is where we go into reparenting. And it doesn't matter. Some of us have good parents. Some of us have mediocre parents, great parents, bad parents. It doesn't matter. We need to no longer be victims to our past and start changing the programming right now. We've all had shitty things happen to us. When are you gonna change? So that leads us into step 5 of the reprogramming. And the step 5 is the reprogramming. You start to soothe yourself. You start to give yourself the next best thought. You start to support yourself and be your greatest cheerleader. So what that might sound like is, I get it. I get why you're upset. You know, we're just doing the best we can, and it's good enough. And every day we're going to get better and better at loving ourselves and being here for ourselves. And look how far you've come. You're so amazing. Do you hear the kindness? When is the last time that you've spoken to yourself like that? Oh, it's so good, right? So let's start really soothing ourselves. You can't skip this. You can't have these fears and then wonder why they're not going away when you don't acknowledge them and soothe them. It's like we have these little temper tantrums within us, and that's why it's so powerful when we reparent the little child within us. And let me tell you, those fears will always be there. So the only thing that can change is how you deal with them. Michael Singer, in his book, The Untethered Soul, which is one of my favorites, he talks about the roommate in your mind. Your fears, the stories, it's just your roommate that you're going to live with your entire life. So how are you going to shift that relationship? What is that relationship going to look like? Are you going to love the roommate? He or she can't help it. That's what they've learned. That's all they know. So just love them, accept them, but then you get to decide. Are you going to be aware of the fears, or are you going to be absorbed by the fears? Because when it's your roommate, you can be aware of how they're acting, but you don't have to entangle in that emotion. You don't have to become that emotion. You get to choose how you show up. And that's why connecting to your highest self is so powerful. You can still feel the fear, but choose to step into your power. So recap quickly your 5 steps to reprogramming. Be aware of the trigger, breathe, listen, validate, soothe. Okay, your 5 steps. So we're going to move into business. So if you have any questions about this section, put it in the chat box so you don't forget. We are moving into business and then Q&A. So we're doing good. All right, so business. We're going to quickly talk about, I'm going to give you 3 questions to ask yourself to connect to your purpose. And then I'm going to give you 3 strategies to scaling your business. Now, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You can apply these questions in any career. This is just for your professional life. So let's chat purpose. So if you're anything like me, I've literally grown up my entire life just asking, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? What am I here for? This year, I stopped asking myself this question because I could really answer these 3 questions that made the question of purpose just completely gone. Number 1, I want you to ask yourself, how do you want others to feel in this world? When I answered this question, I want other people to feel connected to their highest self. I want people to feel peace and joy and love. What is important for you? Do you want people to feel balanced and worthy and heard and taken care of? What is important to you? What resonates with you? I don't want people to feel alone. So usually a lot of the things we want other people to feel are things that we've also come to feel throughout our lives, and maybe were a challenge for us to feel as well. You know, I felt alone most of my life and still have moments that I feel alone. And so it's important for me to share and to show up so that other people don't feel alone and people don't think they're the only ones that are feeling these things. So that's the first question connected to purpose. How do you want other people to feel? Number 2, the powerful one, there's always a powerful one, is great. How do I embody this feeling every day? Are you being that? If you want people to connect to themselves, you want people to feel at peace and feel joy, my job is to feel connected, to feel joy, and to feel peace every day. That's when you start to embody the millionaire mind. You start to be the millionaire. You start to be, embody, live, feel everything that you want others to feel. You become a beacon of light in the world, and your light gives permission to others to ignite that emotion within them. So how are you supposed to help other people feel joy if you're never feeling joy? Here's when the energies don't match. Here's when you struggle. Here's when you don't create the abundance. It's because you're not living in abundance. You're not feeling, you're not being, you're not embodying what you want to create and what you want to help other people create. So that's when you see people that there's just this disconnect, right? People aren't dumb. They know if you're doing the work, right? I tell my clients all the time, like, I know if you're not doing your work. You can pretend you're fooling me, but I know. And it's the same thing in life. You can't fool the universe. You can't fool them and say, oh yeah, I'm thinking I'm living an abundant life. No, your reality and what you see is an example of what you've been thinking for the last years. But the good news is you start changing that today, you'll change your future. There's always hope. So then the third question to your purpose, and this is the real fun one. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're looking for new jobs, ask yourself, what would be fun creative expressions of myself embodying these emotions and helping others feel those things? So let me give you an example. And I say this to my clients all the time. You know, this is what gives you the flexibility to pivot. You could have a fashion line and a coaching business and an art boutique, and they can actually all be the red line. They can all be connected. That red thread connecting all of those things is the feeling and experience that you help other people create and feel through your creative expressions. Everything is a creative expression. So as long as your first priority is just to embody everything you want others to feel, the creative expression is just what would be fun. So every morning you wake up and you think, what would be fun today? And or take out whatever word you want and replace it for fun. Okay, so those are your 3 questions for purpose. We're moving into the last section, and we're gonna go over time. We'll probably need another 5 minutes, and then we'll go into Q&A. So I'm gonna give you your 3 steps to growing your career. Now, I'm not spending that much time on this on purpose, because living a millionaire mindset and creating a life of abundance, business is simple. It's not always easy. It is very simple. Your mind is what's going to cause the resistance. Your mindset, your stories, that's what gets in the way. So it's so funny, even when I'm working with my clients and they're like, okay, I need more business strategy. The business strategy, honestly, I could probably teach you in a couple sections. Your mindset and how you think about things and how you show up. That's what's the difference. That will help you scale, that will help you explode, that will help you make the impact and come into your power. So if you want to talk more about business strategy, though, I obviously went to business school. We can chat all about it. However, your 3 basic tips to business strategy. Number 1, you need to grow a community. It's also really important to get emails of the community that you built. Having an Instagram following, a TikTok following, YouTube, it's not good enough nowadays. You do need email, and phone numbers are a bonus. So I can teach you different techniques as to how to grow your community. You can grow your community through workshops like this, free downloads, events, online summits, retreats, tons of different things, collaborations, giveaways. There's lots of different techniques and strategies to build your community, but at the end of the day, you're building community. That's step 1. Step 2 is providing value for your current community. I don't care if your current community is 1 person or 1,000 or 1,000,000. It doesn't matter. The person on the other side of that computer or phone is just 1 person. Show up for that 1 person. Provide them value. You can provide value through social media, videos, emails, tips, tricks, workshops like this. tons of different things to continue to provide value. The great thing about providing value is that's how you also start to convert that person into a potential sale or engagement. Now, upon giving value, I'm going to give you 4 tips quickly to providing value. When you provide value, I want you to follow this quick strategy. So I'm going to digress a little bit. Number 1, this will work for all social media, all emails. You're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. Hey, I'm going to give you 4 tips to release or alleviate anxiety. Number 2 is you're going to tell them who it's for, and why it matters. So for example, I'm going to give you 4 tips to alleviate anxiety. I know you want to hit on their pain. Why do they need this information? I know you're sitting at home right now crying yourself to sleep. So lonely. I know that you have no friends because of COVID and you can't see anyone and it's depressing and you're getting anxious and worried. And so I know these tips are going to help you feel better, right? You want them in this second tip to think, holy crap, she knows me. She's talking to me. This info's for me. I got to keep reading. Step 3 are the tips. Step 4 is the call to action. Okay, your call to action is going to connect to the 3rd step of your business strategy. So let me quickly recap and bring you back into this discussion. Build community, provide value. The other thing that providing value does is it creates you as an authority figure and builds trust with your client. They need to know, like, and trust you. So providing value helps that relationship to continue to grow. And step 3, while we finish this presentation, your step 3 to scaling your career and your business is sales. You have to give a call to action. You have to sell. 80% of your time should be on sales, especially in the beginning of your business. And then you can just automate your sales, which is beautiful. We can talk about that later. It can feel a little bit overwhelming, but automation is beautiful. It doesn't matter. You have to give a call to action in every engagement. You have to sell every day. You have to tell them to reach out, to send you a DM, to apply for this, to sign up for this. You're providing value, and people need to hear it over and over and over. If you've taken any marketing courses and classes now with social media, I'm sure it's even changed. However, people are going to need to hear a sale probably 7 times before they even consider it for themselves. And I've even seen this within my community. You know, when I'm promoting something or sharing something, when I give an offer and I haven't been giving an offer for a while, the responses are a little bit slower. If I give an offer every day, my responses, I can literally book out my entire coaching schedule in a week and we're done. So I just want to emphasize sales. So your 3 strategies: build community, provide value, and sell. If you want to learn to be better at sales, I did do a training on sales. I love sales. It's one of my favorite things because I really believe that you can sell authentically and really connect without being a cheesy salesperson. So send me a DM if you want me to send you that training, but it's going to also be in our membership portal, which you will have access to, where you can watch this recording and then also check out some of the sales training. So I am going to finish up this workshop and then we're going to go into Q&A. So thank you so much for being a part of this mastermind, talking about how to create abundance and really master a millionaire mind. I hope that it resonated with you and you can take away these tools and tricks into your life. Honestly, commit to just this over the next month and you'll start to see shifts, but most importantly, you'll start to feel better. You'll start to feel like your best self again, and you'll start to feel happy and create inner peace. It's so beautiful. I know I gave you a lot, and I literally could talk about this forever. This is what I created my course on. So I just created a course all on this material. So it is 5 modules. We go through goal setting, networking, relationships, self, and business. And I teach you obviously these techniques and so many more. It is a 6 weeks, but you could do it in 6 days or 6 months. And so I'll also send you that link so you can get on the wait list. If you're on the wait list, you get it at 40% off. So it'll be huge. And then we also do a live Q&A. So you continue to get my support. It's the cheapest coaching you'll get, but you'll be able to get my support as you go through this workshop. So it'll really help you to continue to change your thoughts so that you can continue to step up as your best self. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to hop into the Q&A. So I'm going to open the questions. Okay, we have lots of comments. So does anybody have any questions? We just have a lot of comments in here. You ladies are adorable. Bless you, Melody. It's so beautiful. Love you. Okay, any questions about any of the sections? We can go back to networking, relationships, self, or business. And if not, that's okay too. I know I give you a ton. How can you use social media if you don't want to get onto social media? So does that mean you want to use social media, but you don't want to create your own social media account or your own like business? Okay, cool. So you know what, Anna, your name might be Julia, but it could be Anna too. Send me a DM, Anna, awesome. So send me a DM because I don't want to go off topic too much. We can definitely chat more about this. I'll send you a voice note and I'll also send you a training that I did on social media, how to sell on social media and how to engage. There's a few factors here, Anna, what your business is, why you want to use social media, if you want to use it just for networking or for business. So it really depends, but how do I DM without social media? You need to create a page in order to DM people, or you can find their emails and or LinkedIn or Facebook and message them through another platform. But you probably do need a page. Sorry if you are disappointed. However, there might be some mindset stuff around that, maybe as to why you don't want social media, maybe not, because I know social media can be a little bit taxing and I'm not a huge fan, but I've learned to love it. So we can definitely chat more about that, Anna. Thanks for your question. Taz says, I would also please like info on how to use social media to network. Okay, cool. So yeah, Taz, send me a Facebook or, Jennifer, everyone here. Okay, great. So send me a DM on Instagram's probably better. And then I can send you my social media training. Again, I'm going to send out the link after this training. It's going to give you a month free of our membership. In that membership, I have all of the past trainings. You can go through that and see all of the trainings. There's business training, mindset training, relationships, and in that is social media. So you can find the link in there as well. I hope that helps. Social media is a huge topic and can make you a lot of money if that's your goal. It can also be really fulfilling and you can meet lots of people. Beautiful. Thank you. You're welcome, ladies. Love you. Great session. Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. Okay. Elisa says, what advice do you have when it comes to connecting different aspects of yourself when it comes to creating your own personal brand, combining my life coaching and design? Yeah. So that could be, I understand why that would trip you up. So Elisa, let's chat one-on-one because it depends who your target demographic is. If your target demographic is similar and who you're talking to, then you might be okay with one. It might be beneficial to have two. Send you a DM on Facebook. Okay, great, Anna. It might be better to have two for design and life coaching, but it goes back to your ideal target demographic and how you talk to them. If you're going to talk to them the same way and they're similar people, then why not make it as one? Because you are one person. And that's why I kind of think sometimes balance is BS, because back to our millionaire mind concept, you are you. How you embody you in everything that you do is you. So we can't just turn it on and shut it off. It's how you live and how you be in this world. So if you're just being in this world and you can incorporate both, then keep one if you can. But yeah, if there needs to be two, we can chat more about that. I hope that makes sense, Elisa, in a quick response. Okay, cool. Amanda. Oh, awesome. I'm so happy you took so many notes. Thank you. That's so good. Oh, Amanda, I'm so happy. She says that this is what she needed today. So that makes me really happy. Honestly, if one person shows up on these workshops, I'm happy. I don't even care because I just want someone to feel better. So I really appreciate you saying that, Amanda. Yeah, James says life and brand can be in the same. Yep, 100%. Mary, your comment got cut off, but you might be typing. I love how engaged you are today. Thank you everyone for being here. And feel free to stay connected. I love when we talk and you tell me more about your life. And if you want to scroll up to the beginning of these comments, you'll see everyone's Instagram and who people are. So if you want to network, even within this workshop, feel free to connect with people. Okay, Jackie, not a problem. I know we're over, so a few people are leaving now. Not a problem. Thank you so much for being here. Mary says, I don't have any questions. Oh, but she wanted to thank me. I thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, awesome. I'm so happy. Yeah, take lots of notes. Do this every day. Just put it aside. Go home. Well, you're already home because it's virtual. Journal. Do your thing. And please stay connected. I cannot wait to hear how these work for you. And I cannot wait to hear more about you. So sending you so much love. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.